The Tri-5 Chevys are more than just a blast from the past. They're a living legend that still roars with power today. Imagine driving a car so iconic that its reputation for power and style is still unmatched decades after it rolled off the assembly line. But what makes these classic Chevrolets, from the sleek 1955 to the bold 1957 models, so enduringly popular? Stay tuned as we unravel the timeless appeal of the Tri-5 Chevys and explore why these remarkable cars are still very much alive and well in the world of classic automobiles. If you're new to the realm of the classic cars, you may have overheard people discussing something as a Tri-5 Chevy, and you may have wondered what that means. Well, as for the terms Tri-5, it stands for a certain type of Chevrolet car which were manufactured in 1955, 1956, and 1957. These are some of the most iconic and well-known cars that were ever produced in this country. Of the Tri-5s, the Chevrolet 150, 210, Bel Air, and Nomad are most commonly referred to when people discuss the models. There are, however, some other models that are not very famous, as the Delray Coupe and wagons including the Handyman, Townsman, and Beauville. Another element which contributed to these cars is the new V8 inline Chevrolet 265 cubic inch or 4,340cc that was launched in 1955. This engine was a revolution maker. The model had an overhead valve design, high compression, short stroke, which made it as powerful as efficient for the time it was produced. It was so successful that it stayed in production for 30 years in one form or another. The base version of this V8 engine had a two-barrel carburetor which produced 162 horsepower, but that was not enough. Chevrolet also provided an opportunity to upgrade with a power pack that included a four-barrel carburetor among other modifications, and took the power to 180 horsepower. And for the ultimate power junkies, there was the Super Power Pack that came with higher compression and an additional 15 horsepower to make the total horsepower 195. Chevrolet has some years that made a lot of difference in its production line, and among these were 1955 to 1957. They also ensured that their cars were more luxurious and stylish, and in 1956 alone, they spent $1 million on retooling. This effort was to provide their cheaper Bel Air models a look that was somehow like Cadillac, especially by 1957, that had daring tail fins and Cadillac-inspired bumper protectors. Now, let's dig into the 1955 Tri-5 Chevy, which was a complete redesign from anything Chevrolet had done before. This was a big year for the American auto industry, with 7.1 million new cars sold. Chevrolet was a major player, selling 1.7 million vehicles that year alone. This success gave Chevrolet a whopping 44% share of the low-price market. They outsold Ford by 250,000 units. A major contributor to this success was the Bel Air, which immediately captured the hearts of consumers. The basic 150 model started at just under $1,600 and featured a six-cylinder engine, making it accessible to many Americans. However, the real star was the optional 162 horsepower V8 engine paired with the Powerglide automatic transmission, which quickly earned the nickname the Hot One for its spirited performance. Interestingly, in the first year, an oil filter was considered an option, but skipping it could lead to a shorter engine life. 1955 also marked the debut of the Chevrolet Nomad, a sport wagon that quickly became a rare and desirable model. Only about 6,100 to 7,900 Nomads were produced that year, making them quite unique. The Nomad was only offered in the Bel Air series and came with the V8 engine as a standard feature. Priced at $2,571, it was one of the costlier models in Chevrolet range, but came with more luxurious trimmings such as plush carpets, two-tone paint, and a fashionable headliner, and thereby set it out from the other basic 150 series Chevys. These features of performance, style, and luxury made the Nomad a unique and popular addition to the Chevy line and a sought-after collector's item today. The Chevy was offered in various models for the year 1955, beginning with the 150 model. This was the basic model, intended to be simple and cost-effective. It had rubber mats instead of carpets, a plain two-spoke steering wheel which had no horn ring and no other frills. Such things as ashtray, cigarette lighter, coat hooks, and armrests were not regarded as essential. The next model up was the 210 model. It was slightly more refined than the 150. The window trim was made from stainless steel, and there were more ornamental lines on the exterior and the seats. It also included a glove box light, cigarette lighter, ashtray, automatic interior light control, and horn ring, which added little luxury to the car. The Bel Air was the top-of-the-line model in the Tri-5 series, and it really showed in the details. This car came loaded with the most chrome and bright trim on the outside, making it shine and stand out. Unique emblems gave it an exclusive feel, and inside it was packed with all the comforts and conveniences you could want back in the day. Imagine a classy 3-spoke steering wheel with a horn ring, plush floor carpet, an electric clock to keep you on time, and essentials like ashtrays and armrests, all standard features that added to the luxurious feel of the Bel Air. There were also some interesting optional accessories. For instance, backup lamps would automatically light up when the car was shifted into reverse, making it safer to back up in dark areas, a handy feature at the time. And if you wanted to look sharp on the go, you could opt for a GM electric shaver. This gadget plugged right into the cigarette lighter socket and could be used both in the car and at home, running on a 12-volt battery or 110-volt AC. It was a neat little addition for those who wanted to stay groomed wherever they were. Now, moving to the 1956 models, Chevy made some notable updates. The cars were slightly longer by about 2 to 3 inches and sported a new full-width front bumper. The wheel openings got a redesign, and there was a clever new feature. The fuel cap was hidden behind the driver's side tail lamp, giving the car a cleaner look. The 1956 150 model saw some enhancements too. It got gold vinyl trim inside, a bit more shine around the windshield, and simple stainless steel side moldings. But it still kept the basic rubber mats instead of carpet and only had a sun visor for the driver. The 210 model for 1956 introduced new upholstery options and different exterior trim. Plus, a new 9-passenger wagon, the Beauville, was added to the lineup, offering more space for families or those who needed it. As for the 1956 Bel Air, it continued to impress with the most standard features and trim. A new 4-door hardtop, known as the Sport Sedan, was added, further expanding the choices for those looking for a stylish and feature-packed ride. These cars were more than just vehicles. They were experiences, packed with thoughtful accessories and features that made driving a delight. For 1956, Chevy offered a range of accessories to add comfort and convenience to your ride. Rubber floor mats were a popular choice, large, colorful, and all rubber. They were available in blue, green, red, or black. These mats fit perfectly in both the front and rear of all 1956 Chevy models, keeping your car's interior clean and stylish. Another cool feature was the rear seat speaker. This 6x9-inch speaker worked alongside your radio's front speaker to provide a richer, fuller sound throughout the car, enhancing your driving experience with better audio quality. For those who loved luxury, power windows and seats were a game changer. With just a touch, you could easily adjust all 4 windows and move the front seat to find the perfect driving position. It was all done by compact electric motors that were designed to be simple and reliable, making this an attractive option for drivers looking for a bit more comfort. Now, let's move on to the 1957 Chevy models. This year was marked by a substantial redesign, sharing only the roof, doors, and trunk with the 1956 versions. The front bumper and grille were combined into a single sleek piece, and a new gauge cluster was added for a more modern look. The big news under the hood was the introduction of a powerful 283 cubic inch V8 engine, which could even be equipped with mechanical fuel injection for an extra boost. Additionally, Chevy introduced a posit traction limited slip rear axle for better traction and handling, a first for this model. The 1957 150 model remained quite basic, but it did come with a bright windshield surround and finally included an ashtray as standard equipment. Meanwhile, the 210 model retained all its previous features but upgraded its interiors with a mix of cloth and vinyl, except for the Del Rey and Wagon versions, which were all vinyl. The Bel Air, the top-tier option, continued to impress with the most exterior and interior trim, adding a touch of gold accents for that extra flair in 1957. There were also some exciting new accessories for 1957. The deluxe heater offered living room comfort by heating, defrosting, and ventilating your car's interior, completely changing the air every 60 seconds. For those looking for performance, the ramjet fuel injection system provided instant throttle response and smoother acceleration, all while improving fuel economy. The high-volume ventilation system made driving more comfortable by delivering fresh air in large amounts through special intakes near the headlights, keeping out road dust and fumes. And for convertible owners, there was the automatic top raiser, a modern electronic device that would automatically raise the car's top at the first sign of rain, even if you weren't there to do it yourself.